The blows just keep on coming from both sides in the golfing world, but it seems that now the Saudi-backed Rebel League just might be gaining the upper hand. In the latest developments, the PGA has banned some of the biggest names in golf for signing with Greg Norman's breakaway league and the LIV golf event. Here's the latest. First up, 48 members banned by the PGA. It started off with threats, but now the PGA has finally answered and reacted with its iron fist. Most fans, analysts, and in particular, the players, thought that they wouldn't ban the members participating in the LIV golf event, but it seems that the PGA's had enough, and they've taken a big decision by banning members. Greg Norman had revealed a few weeks ago that around 50 players from the PGA had already given their word and signed the contracts to participate in the LIV golf event. As it turns out, he wasn't bluffing either. All of those 48 members have been officially banned by the PGA for taking part in the event and for becoming a part of the Saudi-backed Rebel League. But the alarming thing for the golf fans and the PGA is that out of those 48 members, there are some big household names as well. Phil Mickelson has been banging on about the Norman-led breakaway league, and his public support has been obvious, so that wasn't exactly a surprise. But he isn't the only one involved in the fiasco. The list includes the likes of Dustin Johnson and Matt Jones, some of the most successful names in golf, not to mention Sergio Garcia and many more who had already resigned from the tour following their decision to participate in the LIV golf event. Now, implications of the PGA ban. As revealed in an open letter by PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan, the PGA believes that the players are basing their decision on the financial aspect of the league. The tour explained that the banned members can't demand the same benefits, considerations, opportunities, and platform from the PGA as it's disrespectful. It's good to see the PGA cracking down and taking strict measures. Monahan went on to point out that any player who took part in the future Saudi Golf League events will meet the same fate as the 48 members before, and they won't be allowed to participate in any PGA Tour. It will see players prohibited from taking part in all of the features of the PGA Tour, including the Corn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour Championships, PGA Tour Canada, and PGA Tour Latino America. The ban includes participation in the President's Cup, which is determined by the world ranking and is based on international teams. The USGA said that eligible players can participate in the US Open next week because the PGA does not run the majors. Interesting development, to say the least. In fact, the biggest blow of all seems to be the removal of the breakaway golfers from the FedEx Cup rankings. That's bound to have a huge effect, but at this point, it seems that the players aren't too concerned about all that because they'll be making millions playing in the LIV golf event. Next, the reaction. As expected, the reaction to the ban has been insane. Players were quite upset and angry with the decision, with the Saudi-backed Rebel League leading the charge. LIV Golf called the PGA decision vindictive and divisive. It's literally a case of pot calling the kettle black, and we just can't get enough of this irony. Some on Twitter even likened this to Israel's recent boycott of Russia over human rights violations. US Open winner Graeme McDowell also blasted the PGA's decision and talked about how the decision wasn't good for the sport. He believes that players are independent contractors and shouldn't be tied to a certain association as it's unfair. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Sergio Garcia, on the other hand, took a different approach and pointed out that he didn't want to get into a legal battle, so he resigned as a PGA member before even becoming part of the tour. He was fed up with the PGA's antics and had been complaining publicly, so this one definitely isn't surprising either. Mickelson didn't react to the ban directly, but did say that the historical day was awfully fun, and he says he enjoyed playing the first round, but refused to discuss anything about the PGA Tour matter at that time. On the other hand, the likes of Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas spoke out about how the ban was the right thing to do, with Thomas saying that he was pleased, and pointed out how the message was clear from Monahan and everyone knew it was going to happen. McIlroy believes that Monahan's decision is good, and it's by the book, considering the banned members did break the rules, and there will be consequences. What do you think about it? Is the PGA playing to Norman's tune? After the ban, analysts were speaking out about how the situation with the PGA is exactly what Norman would have wanted. Norman, the brains behind the Saudi-backed Rebel League, talked a few weeks ago about how the LIV golf event will change the golfing world. Well, it already has, no doubt about it, but he explained his desire for a nobody to win the tournament because that would pave the way for the rest of the PGA members to join the Rebel League when they realize anybody can make millions and they can easily beat those players. It's a clever strategy from Norman, and it shows that they've thought long and hard about it. There's a lot of money being invested by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund in the LIV Golf League events, and now that a bunch of top-ranked golfers have already played the first few rounds of the tournament, there is reason to believe others will follow suit. It's a no-brainer to do so. Graeme McDowell also added that players are independent contractors. If that's how the rest of them think, the PGA will have a big problem on their hands, especially if another faction of players breaks away and joins the Saudi-backed tournament. It might simply spell the end of PGA's dominance. Now, in other news, Ian Poulter to appeal ban. Well, we certainly haven't heard the end of this fiasco, that's for sure. After the ban was confirmed right after the beginning of the LIV Golf Invitational Series, a lot of players had different reactions to the PGA's decision. Ian Poulter, the English pro golfer, has expressed his desire to appeal the ban, and considering he was one of those players who didn't resign, he feels he's not done anything wrong. The PGA was quite consistent with its threats and then followed up on them by delivering what it planned to. Poulter believes that having 2 tour cards isn't anything wrong, as it offers the players the ability to play all around the world. He'll be taking the PGA to court, but it seems that he won't be the only one doing so. A legal battle between the PGA and the LIV Golf Invitational has been looming, and there's reason to believe that the court is where the final decision will be made eventually. Next, LIV Golf's broadcast deals. LIV Golf has been struggling with a lot of things, and broadcasting was one of their major issues. They had revealed their plans on broadcasting the event on YouTube to capture a younger audience, and it was a decent solution to their lack of broadcasting partners. However, now it seems their broadcasting troubles are a thing of the past, as it's been reported that they've struck deals with some of the biggest broadcasting partners in the world. The names apparently include DAZN, DirecTV, L'Equipe, and Sena Sports, which will allow them to broadcast the event in 150 countries worldwide, including the likes of Canada, the USA, Japan, France, Italy, China, and the entirety of Latin America. While LIV Golf offered its rights to Sky and BT Sports in the UK, it seems like they couldn't finalize a deal, but for the fans in the UK who want to watch the action, they can always tune into YouTube, Facebook, or the official website of the event. Now, LIV Golf Round 1 results. The 48-player field wrapped up the historic first day of the LIV Golf Invitational Series at the Centurion Golf Club. Carl Schwartzel, the 2011 Masters winner, leads the pack as he shot 5 under par, taking a 1-stroke lead over his countryman Hennie Duplessis. While many casual golf fans might not be familiar with the names leading the pack, don't worry, because the usual suspects weren't far behind. Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson dropped their scores to 1 under by the end of the play, even though they encountered many difficulties on the course. Mickelson was the more consistent of the two, but they weren't the best scorers of their 3-person grouping, as Scott Vincent led them and finished 3 under and tied for 3rd with Pachara Kongwatmai. It's set up perfectly for round 2, as the controversial tournament finally becomes a reality. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think it's the right decision by the PGA to ban members? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.